Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Paint Party live stream. So glad to be back with you. It's been a couple of weeks. I had expected to be out of town last week, but ended up not going on that trip. However, I needed kind of a break to take care of some other things. So glad to be back with you in the studio this evening. I hope your week went well, or your couple of weeks. I hope this new one is off to a new start. We're going to jump right in this evening, but before we do, I do want to show you what we worked on last week, or 2 weeks ago, and where it has come since then. So this is the final painting of the fall painting we did 2 weeks ago. If you remember, I was exploring with a little more kind of a looser brushstroke, and then I really realized that I still ended up being way too specific and detailed, so I did this one again. If I hold it up really close, you can see the texture of the paint strokes and kind of the style that I'm going for. It's really a nice style. I really like this style, so I want to continue to push the envelope, so to speak. Excuse me while I put this over here on the ledge. Have all my paintings kind of lined up. That is the direction I want to go, to continue to push myself, developing that style or that skill in a more textured, loose, impressionistic style of painting. So that's the attempt. Hi there, Lola. So good to see you. Great to have you. Welcome to those of you popping into the room a little later. So glad to have you. If you've been here before, you know the drill. You can connect on any of the platforms that you're on through the comments. Feel free to comment throughout the live stream, and I like to engage with you in that way. So feel free to spark some conversation or ask questions as we go along. And you can stay as little or as long as you'd like. It is very much open house this evening. All right, so to get started, let me put up the reference photo for you so you can see what we're painting. This is a photo that came from a former student of mine who posted this on Instagram. She's in Amsterdam, or was recently, and it just struck me right away. So I reached out to her and asked her if I could use it as a painting, and decided to jump right in this evening with this painting. So that's what we'll be doing. This photo from Amsterdam. I'll blow it up there a little bit so you can see what's going on. Whoops, don't want to do that. I guess, nope, I keep doing it. There we go. All right. So, and I've switched you over to this camera. You know that means that I have to move this camera over so that we can set it right near the canvas. All right, I will flip that around so that the canvas can be seen. I'm going to move my reference here out a little bit so that I can see this. Okay, I think that is good. Then we will go here, and I need to flip you around like that. There we go. And let's see. That way you can see the entire canvas. All right, I think we are good to go. We'll put that back there so you can see what we're doing. Hopefully, there we go. You'll notice that I did pre-treat this canvas panel and kind of put the, let's see, where can I put the light so that it's good? That's, oh, maybe that'll work for you. Okay, we'll try it. It glares off, doesn't, no matter where I put the light, it's going to glare. All right, well, we will do this. We'll put it as far out as we can from the canvas. Lift it up so it's not. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. A little bit, a little bit. We have some. Maybe we'll lower that just to hold that. All right. Sorta. We're getting there. All right. Welcome, welcome, those of you that are popping in. All right. What I want to do, as you can tell, I kind of pre-toned this canvas, not the way I wish, but it was just an exercise to kind of play with the, I want to get really much better at doing that. It's just something I have to practice, of setting up the values ahead of time, because anytime I do that, the painting always ends up better. So, but tonight we have basically the idea. So what I'm going to do is jump right in, and we are going to get this moving the furthest away to the closest. We are going to actually furthest away and closest. We're going to do the sky, and then we're going to come down here and do the water, because the water is the darkest value here, and probably our lightest value is up in here in the sky, maybe these lights down here. But we are going to explore with that, and to do that I want to use a fairly large brush like I usually do to start out with. So we'll get some blue on the palette. I'll switch this around so you can kind of see what I'm doing. We have some kind of a, oh, what is this? Phthalo blue. I'm going to put some white out there, and I'm going to put some ultramarine blue so we kind of get our purple shades, and then I'm going to put a little bit of brown, because that's going to give us our clouds. I'm thinking that I want to do, I don't know, it's composed so well, but I'm not sure if I want to leave these clouds in here or if I want to make this the brightest part to draw our eye into the painting, because everything, all the composition is leading us into the painting. All of us is leading this way, and I think I just made that decision that I want to make that little adjustment. So the dark, we'll have dark sky up here, and then the lightest sky will be there. So I'm going to do this. So that we start really dark up here, but I want that really bright blue. We'll do a couple of these. I'm going to raise this for now, just so I can do the sky all the way up to the and it'll get subtly lighter as it goes this way. So our lightest spot, let's take this. We'll diffuse it with some white. We'll just kind of blend that in. That'll give us a blend of this and we'll do a couple of layers of this like we like to do. Now once I added the white, now I'm bringing the blue back in just to give us some lighter kind of mid-tone values. The key is to figure out how to keep this very like I said, I don't want to, I keep using the word impressionistic. I'm not sure if that's actually the word I'm looking for, but very big textured strokes. So that's good for a first draft. Let me turn this off because we have so much glare there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And what we want is the greatest point of contrast along this roof line over here. So you'll have your brightest value there, and then your darkest value with those rooftops there. That'll draw our eye there because we have the line of the rooftops, and then that which is dark, and then we'll have the lights of the city, which will help us really make this work. So that's the intent, at least. I need to stop this because I just need to. Okay, we need to give that some time to rest. And then I'm going to do the opposite and come down here and put in my darkest values here. So by lining this, keeping this dark, I'm going to bring in some dark here. It's basically all squeezing our eye into this area. The angle of the buildings, as well as the shoreline, as well as we have this kind of major kind of triangle of lighter values. If you look at it this way, it kind of goes this way, and then we have our major segment of darker values here. And then that one line, obviously, to create the shore or the line of the canal. All right. So, and then these building tops, I'm going to bring this dark down and let these building tops blend almost into the because these are dark buildings except for the lights, I want them to blend into this. So I may do these darker than they are, and I may move some of these lights over here so that it's different. So just thinking out loud, if you'll allow me, that's what we're doing. Okay, now I'm doing, oh, I didn't want that phthalo blue. Shoot. Wrong blue. I need to label these with big. Oh well, we're just going to have tons of phthalo blue. Way more phthalo blue than we need. I wanted ultramarine blue, and I want raw umber, which is our dark brown, which will give us almost black. So we take that together, and it's basically as close as we can get to black in the natural world, because there's no real black in the natural world, except maybe deep dark space where there's no light penetration. Okay, now I think these first layers, I am going to just slop it on. And we're going to just do big kind of triangle, a triangle of darkness, of dark value here. So it's going to come clear down here, up, not really caring about how that is. It's just basically all really dark. And we'll let that go and dry. Again, we're just quick and sloppy. I think we'll come up in here, kind of put this in there, the suggestion of that, and it may then we'll do something in there. Again, I'm just doing basically the blocks of value. Pardon me just a minute, y'all. I'm gonna step back here, rinse my brush and take a look here. All right. Just want to find where my there it is. All right. Had a little somebody who was, or a bot that was a little disruptive on YouTube, so have taken care of that, hopefully. All right. Let's go back to painting because that's more fun. All right. Clearing out our this. I'm going to take a quick progress photo. All right, we need to come in and block in some of the lighter spots here. So let me just take, and again, this is just shapes. I'm just looking at shapes. Take a little bit of this. Okay, so we'll come in. That's darker. That's not what I want. I want to get some a little bit lighter. So let's see if we can do this. We'll refine this as we go, but basically let's just get the shapes in. We have the, this needs to be a little bit darker. We have basically this triangle of light. Then what I want to do is bring some brown tones and just do just begin to put framework of these rooftops in, or these buildings. All right. See what happens when you get the values right. All of a sudden, images start to appear without doing much of anything. This is what I said I wanted to do with this. So we'll bring these rooftops. I want to bring them fairly high. Into the there we go. Now we start to see some of it, don't we? A little bit at least. Yeah, I think that is going to be real nice with that light and then going darker and darker up here. It's really gonna, and I may actually put the spire right there. Although I don't really, I think want it right in there, so we'll see. We shall see. Let's give it a minute to rest. I'm gonna go back to the sky then. So we have our darkest darks, our lightest lights. It already is looking like the sun is setting behind those buildings just by putting the right values in, doesn't it? I think that's really interesting. Okay. Y'all are so quiet this week. Must have been a crazy Monday. Crazy, crazy Monday. Let's see. All right. Now we'll come back to our sky. And so we will take some of our blue, we'll take white, I want it to just be almost surreal, almost cerulean blue. Like I want it to be like where it's almost like you can't believe it's so. And I'm using just really crazy textured brush strokes so that it really looks So it really just looks almost fantastic, like fantasy-like. I want this to be surreal almost. I think we'll do one more coat, and that one will be very much textured. So I'm putting in textured brush strokes already. Look at how nice that is rendering. If I can turn it away from the glare a little bit, maybe you can see even better. See, that's what we're going for. So the sky is really bright over there. And then, yeah, that's the goal. But you don't know, you just got to try things, and especially I'm getting a little more adventurous with my references. When I started painting, I tried to mimic exactly tutorials or people were painting online. Then I started doing my own reference photos, but I was trying to make it as photorealistic as possible. Then I started trying to do less photorealistic and more what you'd call painterly, I guess. And then now I am trying to really think about the painting and see how I can make it more, really direct it as the artist, as opposed to just copying the reference, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where my brain is these days. And I don't know, maybe I'll mention it here. I'm thinking about possibly doing some more YouTube or Instagram content around paint process and some of that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, just thinking about it, but what do y'all think I should do that? Or what do you all think about that? Okay, now I'm going to start introducing some color. This is, again, I want to put in my lightest parts. So I am just going to put in, again, just some images, or just some values, some big so we go big, like the big triangle of light, dark, dark, and now we start breaking it up into smaller points of light or points of values. So Trying to diffuse this a little bit. Just putting in blocks, just blocks. And then we can refine this as well. We just keep refining, trying things. Think a little ultramarine blue we're missing. I think this is still too bright, so we'll put some more blue in, darken it. The red is so potent that when we get red in there, it just stands out so strong and so light. Again, I'm just trying to create there. Not quite as successful as before, but we'll get there. I think this is going to be too bright, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to dull this down a little bit, but it gives us idea, tells us if we're going in the right direction. All right. Sorta what we want. We just keep dialing it in, dialing it in, dialing it in. I'm going to step back, take a good look at this, take a good picture. All right. Okay, the only thing we have left is, you know it, the dark. We'll do one more. One more coat of this really dark down in here, and that will give us our foundation. But I'm going to begin to mix the medium that gives me the thicker texture. So mix that in with the brown, and we need the ultramarine blue. Thicken it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, now we're going to try to be very intentional about our brush strokes down here. We want to be, we want the texture of this to stick out. So we will so that when you get up close to this painting, you really see the brush strokes. That's the goal. That's the goal. The other thing I want to do is to see, I'm going to test something with my knife. My palette knife. I'm going to test if I can come in and do the, oh, I should have done this for a left-hander. I haven't used a palette knife much, but I think this is a good place to do it. give a very clear kind of shoreline. I'm going to come in with my non-dominant hand and kind of well, that will definitely give us the textured look. Now we're going to have to make it blend in so it doesn't look out of place. All right, well, that was an experiment. We'll see how it all turns out in the long run. Now, y'all, we've been painting less than an hour, and we're sort of getting there. We'll soften this a little bit by coming in and putting in some of this. All right, we started with the dark. Now I think we go back and do the last layer of the sky. Since I have all those paints with me, I think I am going to just scoop this over here. Okay. Now let's take again our blue and our white. We'll make it really lighten it up. The real dark, so we'll kind of put that in there too. All right, let's see if we can just blend this all now. We'll see, I tried to mix them all together, so I'm not sure if it's going to work this time. But I'll clean the brush, and we'll come over here with hopefully our blue. Okay, let's come back in. Yeah, there we go. Super bright. Yeah. Now I'm seeing the kind of brush strokes I want to see. Then we bring in the kind of our midtones. Bring that down in, bring this up. Oop. Then we'll take our dark colors, bring those in. Ooh, there's a lot of white in that. We're gonna have to fix that. Want as much as possible kind of a gradient. So, but we need some really the dark. We need that dark blue. Okay. I might have ruined my sky, y'all. I'm getting the brush stroke quality I want, but not necessarily the color I want or the gradient I want. So it's a very harsh, although, you know what? No, maybe it is. Maybe that is what I want. As it starts to dry, I don't know if y'all can see that brush work, but I am liking this as it's starting to dry. It is very, very cool. Huh. It's very highly reflective because of the medium I added, so it's hard to show you exactly what's going on, but that is really an undertaking. Where was this? It's Amsterdam. A former student of mine, it was there this summer or this school year, and she took this picture and is allowing me to paint it. So thank you, Natalie, for the kind use of your reference photo, although she's not here because she's in Europe and it's the middle of the night. But yeah, I think I like this. Oops. And I like where it's going. So I'll just not overpaint, but I'll yeah, I like this. It's coming. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And I am getting the very, I don't know if you can see it, but the very thick, textured kind of brush strokes that I want, so you can kind of see how that's going to read when you're up close to it. But hopefully when you're at a distance, it will still look. Again, what I'm going for is because when I first saw it, what hit me was just kind of this like breathtaking feeling, and that's what I want to capture with not only the brushwork but also with the actual painting. So yeah, that is the goal. That is the goal. Okay, now let's switch out these. Let me see if I can move this slightly. I don't know if I can. Well, I'll put my up here, and then I'll just move that camera back when I end the live stream. How's that? How's that? That's just great. Okay, now what I want to do is I think I want to come down and start to okay, so we've defined the shoreline with the palette knife work. I think what I want to do is define the rooftops with because the sky, I think, is where I want it. Almost. And so I want to begin to do the rooftops against the sky. The thing I don't know how to do is how to do this without getting too detailed, because I want to keep it that really, like when you get up close to it, I want it to be not very specific at all. So, but I do want to draw the eye in, so our composition is pointing this way because of the design of the light and shadow. And then this point will be the highest contrast. So these rooftops will be dark, and this will be light values. In the reference photo, there's clouds down on here. And so your eye kind of jumps up to these clouds up here or the sky up here because it's a little lighter value. But I decided to do my lightest point down here and the darker, like not bring those clouds all the way down. So that's kind of my thought. And so I think by identifying or creating some of that for our skyline will really help. That said, I'm going to bring some medium, and I can't see, there you can see this. So I'm taking again the same exact thing I did before, creating kind of that dark. I want it as dark as I can get it. So I'm taking the blue. I may have to bring even a little more blue in. I don't want it to be blue. I want it to be black or to read black. So have to have the right balance of red and brown, or I'm sorry, blue and brown, to have it read as dark as possible. There it is, pretty dark. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do actually is, now that this is mixed, going to take it off this brush and bring in a smaller brush. But I don't want to, I don't know what brush to use. Maybe this one. Oh. We'll use this one. Okay. Except it gets so maybe this. We'll try it. We'll try it. Okay, let's just make some marks. And I'm holding my brush like this on purpose to kind of not give myself as much control as I normally would have. Actually, no, I'm going to change it. Then we want to just kind of basically create shapes that are consistent with our shadows, because we don't want to draw in all of the, I don't want to draw in all of the precise rooftops. I just want to kind of give the, it's almost like when you're writing a novel, you want to leave a lot of it to the interpretation of the person reading it. And now I'm just, again, using the, as reference, just kind of making up this skyline a little bit. Again, like we'll just kind of disappear up here into the clouds. So this one on the end that has the bright decor on it, I'm not going to add that because that'll draw our eye way back out here. I'll probably put it down here on some of these and just let these buildings kind of disappear into the shadows so that everything draws your eye in here. Again, we're going for a feeling. We're trying to create a feeling of magic. The lights so sharp and bright. Okay. Notice how just putting shadow, I haven't done anything else, it's all the same color, and all of a sudden buildings start popping up. Obviously there is no detail, but we're starting to see what's coming together, where we want it to be. So I'm going to just step back. I really like the sky. I'm getting there with the buildings. I need to refine the rooftops, especially right here, because that's where the eye is going to go. So I don't want any of these weeble wobble rooftops. But I'm pretty pleased. Then I want to start, I think, come in and work in here. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let's clean out our brushes first. I want to start adding some color down in here, because if I can get this water value right, then that's gonna really help me with. I wonder if I should use the same brush that I did up there with this down here. Okay, so almost need like a, yes, a little bit of magenta maybe. Ooh, that's a lot of magenta. Don't need that much magenta. All right, let's kind of see what we can do. I think we do. Actually, I want to, for the sake of this, I want to create and figure out where these boats, because I'm going to put these boats in. Watch what I'm doing here, though. I'm going to carve the shadow out, or try to. Then we'll have the boat, or part of it. We'll just give the suggestion of a little bit lighter there. Okay. So our little boat will, I'm not, I think, going to put those buildings there because that's a distraction from where I want my eye to go. So I want my little boat right here. I think we do little this, little that, little white. So let's see if we can. Then if we add a little blue to that mixture, the blue, ultramarine blue, gives us the darker shade of the same color basically. So you can see how I've done that, which up here looks almost white, doesn't it? Or very pink, but look how dark it is compared to the actual light pink. Then we can come in here and I should be able to do a suggestion of a the boat. All right, and we'll do a little more yellow over here. Some more white. Yes. Then we want to do this boat. So we'll kind of put, we'll have to obviously go back in and carve this out. I'm putting the whole kind of shape in there. That way I just know where it is. Then we'll put quite a bit of blue in here. And we will do just a little bit of okay. Okay. We got about 10-15 minutes as we start to wrap this up. I want to get some color in here, so let's take some, I don't know if these are the right colors, but maybe some, let me try some of this. Magenta, because it does actually appear down in here. But I think I'm going to take it over there because it's these lights up in here, and if I'm not going to have those as bright, this is going to have to be toned down a little bit. So this may all get covered up, but it'll be there a little bit. And there's a little boat tug right there. We'll just put some lights in here and see if it's too much. I have a feeling this is going to be the same as the well, the other boat one we did. The more layers we get, I think is going to be the so I'm going to have to probably spend some time doing some layers and different colors and to get it to be as vibrant as we want it. Again, I'm walking that line of where is the line that I want from kind of an impressionist feel to, like, you know, and I don't want the eye to come too far out here. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. So let's put some start to put some of our structure in. I think I am going to put the bright pink lights in the middle in this building. And we'll Hey there, Weston. Thanks so much. I appreciate you stopping through. This one's definitely a work in progress, but I'm loving what's happening up here. Now I just gotta get all of this figured out. Let me see if I can figure out this spire, because basically the spire is just some it is light and shadow, definitely. It's just the contrast of light and shadow. So let me just try some things out. I put in the shadow. Now let me see if I can just, if this works. I think I want to make this, make it even more striking. So let's make it really sticking out there into the sky, unapologetically. And then coming live, looking good. Little by little, little by little. What I'm learning really, and this is a fundamental of painting, is that the contrast between, I've said this, but like you just see it, the light and dark, when you put really dark against really light, all of a sudden it's like, ooh. And the same with, I hope, this spire. If we start to put some suggestion of light in there, it's got and give it a little contrast to build around, then all of a sudden it's much more striking. It's a little diffused because of the light paint underneath was not dry yet. And so, but I think we want there. Then we really want to come in. We'll figure it out. I don't want it to look like a Christmas tree. That's what I don't want. And it looks like that now, but I'm going to have to let it dry. And then I'm going to come in and put some little more architectural structure on it. I think I do want to use this same kind of to start putting some of the now I'm basically just playing, I'm playing drawing, I'm playing artist, so I'm less looking at my reference photo and just like doing fun things. I'm still not sure what all to do with these. I think I'm going to do a gray, as dark a gray as I can get. And just put some, hopefully, relatively nondescript details in there. We'll see if this works the way I want it to. All right, I think I'm going to have to wrap it there since it is coming to the top of the hour. And I think it's going to be good for me to kind of step away from this one. I do like what's happening here, especially right there. I do also like how this is coming together. You'll notice that the brushwork is really loose. It's not very defined. So I'm going to have to just keep working with this to figure out where those pops are that really draw you in and give you the feeling of the original. Again, because that's what I'm going for, is the feeling of it. So what it feels like if you were there, kind of that magic that the lights create. So I think the sky right now is making the painting, honestly. And so if I can get the water correct and these boats and really give it some good texture, I think it's going to be a really, really beautiful painting that will be a lot of fun to look at. But I want to keep working at it. I do like the heavier texture. As you can see, like the brushwork, you can really see the brushwork now in the sky. I do like that kind of style. So, all right, let me put these here, bring my other camera up here so I can say a proper goodbye to y'all. I am going to put me right there and move this back. Oh, this lasted. I didn't realize I never plugged in my charger. I'm surprised that my phone has lasted this long. Honestly, it is quite amazing that has happened. Because I think when I started I was at 50%, so it must be almost nothing. But, all right, we will do that, and then we'll switch back to here, and we'll say goodbye to the used palettes, and I will say, there you can see kind of what we're going for. It really is starting to, now you can see what I was doing with the sky there. And I think it was the right decision to get rid of those clouds and bring the view in, put the lightest parts there, make this less defined so that the eye really gets pulled into the painting. So that's where we are right now. I want to say thank you for joining me. It's been really good having you. As always, we will be here next Monday night again. Yeah, I think there's one Monday when I have a meeting, but if I have to change it, I'll put that on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, you can follow me on Instagram at Stephen E. Rice. And yeah, I think that's it. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening. And yeah, the more I hold this up and look at it in the camera or the phone, I really am liking how it's coming. So I'll keep working on this. I'll be sure to show you the finished product, but be sure to follow along on Instagram if you want those progress photos. All right, everybody, have a great evening, and I will see you here next time for another episode of the Paint Party Livestream.